Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to Daily Current Affairs Initiative. We will discuss today's current affairs. Before that, we will see the articles that we are going to discuss. We have a very good number of articles today, right? So even though there are some factual basis, but yes, there are a very good number of articles today, right? So we will see before briefly what articles that we are going to discuss today. First one, cryogenic engine in the rocket. So how it is different from solid as well as the liquid engine. We will see how it works and why it is there in use. Okay. Then India Middle East economic corridor. So Greek Prime Minister has said that we have to go ahead even though there are some obstacles to the recent met with our Prime Minister. We will see what is the details about it. And then financial devolution among states. Even though this is a little bit analytical article, but the situation, the articles of Indian Constitution is very, very important. We will have a very good discussion on this. This was taken from the Hindu. The very good explanation is given in the Hindu, as well as some solutions were also suggested. We will see this one a little bit more detail and is also very important. And then Sammaka Saraka Maydaram Jatra. This is a festival in Telangana. We will see the facts and why it is celebrated regarding history as well. And then flood management and border areas program. So yesterday there was a cabinet meeting from the government. So within the Council of Ministers we have a small one that is called as cabinet. That's why we have too many articles today, because the ministers has met yesterday and then they have taken certain decisions such as flood management and border areas program, and then FDA in space sector, as well as some increase in fare and remuneration price, and then also meeting of FSDC. So these are all articles were taken from the Press Information Bureau, including the Global Initiative on Digital Health. Yesterday there was a meeting, that's why we have more number of articles. In the Hindu there are 3-4 relevant to our exam. Also they have mentioned this in the Hindu as well, along with the PIB. So we have taken these many articles because those are all very important and have mentioned in the wide newspapers. Finally, we will also see the Mundra port in Gujarat. So recently Israel Prime Minister has taken a selfie and posted a video. It becomes a viral, and there will be a question from Mundra port. Already there was a question a few years back also. So we will see what is Mundra port and how it is important to India's economy. Finally, we have a very brief factual pointers in a single line manner, and also the last one we will practice some questions from these issues, right? So I hope you are ready for the session. As usual, if you have any doubts, you can comment here. So I will be here to assist you to clear your queries, right? So cryogenic engine, why it is there in news, why it was taken for today's session? This is because the ISRO has accomplished a milestone. The name of the engine, cryogenic engine, is CE-20. Okay, so this name is also important. It has achieved a milestone that human rating was given. We will see what actually is human rating, what is cryogenic engine, what is the significance. We will see in detail. I am just making you to understand the context that human rating was given to CE-20, the engine that was approved. That's why it is there in news. This engine, whatever the ISRO has developed, will power the LVM-3 launch vehicle, that is rocket. This is a rocket for Gaganyaan mission. So India is going to send the humans to the space in the coming year, right? So for this, they need to use the LVM-3 rocket to launch this Gaganyaan mission. In this, there will be a small part, that is the engine, cryogenic engine. So here there is a mission which will be launched through the rocket, and in this rocket we are going to use the cryogenic engine. And for that, the human rating was approved yesterday. So this is the context why we are discussing the article. Now we will see all the basics about Gaganyaan and then cryogenic engine, how it is affecting, what is human rating. In detail we will see. I hope you understood the context, why it is there in news. Now let's move to the first thing. Before discussing the cryogenic engine, let's understand what actually is human rating of any launch vehicle. So ISRO has said that we have achieved the human rating. It means the vehicle is ready to transfer humans from the earth to the space. So this means that the engine is suitable, the launch vehicle is suitable to transfer the humans from earth to the space. So human rating here means the approval that the mission is ready to carry the humans to the space. That is the approval. So this rating of cryogenic engine got the human rating that this engine is suitable to use in the rocket for transferring humans to Earth to the space. That's what the context is, the elaborated context. That's the human rating means. Okay. Now let's understand what actually is a cryogenic engine. Before that, let's see how rocket works. If you are a physics student, you might be already aware about it. We will have a satellite here. Okay, so this is the satellite. I mean, this is all the rocket, and a satellite, the mission module, is kept inside the rocket at the top. So in the first stage, when there is a launch of the rocket, you might have seen there will be a lot of fire here, gas releasing and pushing the ground so that it will go up. That is the mechanism. Here in the first stage, we are using the liquid stage fuel. Of course, to work for any machine, we need fuel, right? So for rocket also, we need a fuel, and there are 3 stages in the rocket launch. In the first stage, we are using the liquid fuel. So any liquid fuels that we are using, it can be anything, liquid oxygen or something else. There are a lot of examples. So we are using liquid fuel in the first stage, and in the second stage, we are using the solid fuel. Yes, fuel is also in solid form, like zinc sulfide, something like that. There are a number of examples where the fuel is kept in a solid manner. So this is the second stage. And in the third stage, we are using the cryogenic engine. CE20 we said just developed, got the human rating. Earlier, yes, we have used the C25. There are a number of cryogenic engines, but now this engine got approval for human rating, right? So what I'm trying to say is this: rocket has 3 stages where we are using liquid fuel, and then solid fuel, and then cryogenic engine. But yes, the problem is not this. The problem is this, that liquid stage fuel as well as solid stage fuel is taking lot of weight for the rocket. Whenever the rocket weight is reduced, it is very easy for it to flow into the space. But now what is happening in the current scenario? Earlier we were not even using this cryogenic. Again, solid, liquid and solid, the same combination we were using it. Because of this, the rocket weights get increased, and then its capacity to travel to the higher distance is reduced, and the chance of collapsing is also more. The failure is also more because the weight it cannot bear. Now what we are doing, we here means the government or ISRO or many other countries, we are trying to replace this solid and liquid fuels to reduce the weight and increase the efficiency of the rocket. That is the aim. So we are replacing the solid and liquid fuel in the third stage, the final stage of rocket. This will collapse after some time, and then this second stage is also being collapsed. Finally, this will open up the third stage, and then satellite will go into the orbit. That is the mechanism. We are trying to replace the solid and liquid fuels using cryogenic fuels. That is what I want to make you understand here. We are going to replace because these are not very efficient. Now we will see what actually is cryogenic engines and cryogenic technology. Cryogenic technology, cryogenics means studying the material, behavior of the material at the very low temperatures. Any material, it can be iron, it can be steel, it can be anything, studying their properties, how they are behaving at the very low temperature, such as minus 150 degrees. Minus 150 is a very freezing temperature, but yes, it will reduce the weight. If we are compressing the fuel, for example, we have some liquid fuels like oxygen, hydrogen, we are compressing at minus 150 degrees. That means what? Their occupancy, the size or the area that required for that fuel in the tank gets decreased, and also the weight also gets decreased, right? Rather than using solid and liquid fuels, the weight of this fuel, cryogenic fuels, can be reduced so that rocket efficiency will be more. Those studies which we study the material at the very low temperatures are called as cryogenics, right? So this is a general term for cryogenics. The gases here is used generally oxygen and hydrogen, right? Oxygen and hydrogen. We are using oxygen as well as hydrogen. We are taking this hydrogen as well as oxygen, we are compressing at very low temperatures, and then we are using it. So we have many other gases as well, not only hydrogen and oxygen. We have nitrogen, we have helium, we have argon, but our studies has proved that hydrogen and oxygen were the most useful gases where we can where we can deploy in the cryogenics to use as a fuel in the rockets. This is also will be asked in the exam. Okay, we are using hydrogen and oxygen fuels and we are compressing them into cryogen or the low temperatures, therefore reducing the size or area and also weight of the fuels, right? So that is the cryogenics. Now how cryogenic engine is worked in the rocket? We have taken one engine that is in the third phase, the final phase. Of course we are going to replace everything in the coming days, but as of now, as of now we are using cryogenic engine only at the final stage of the rocket. In the first stage we are still using liquid and solid phases, but yes, in the final stage we are going to replace it with the liquid. We are going to replace the liquid as well as the solid fuels with the cryogenic one, right? I hope you are following what cryogenics is. So here we are using liquid oxygen, as I said earlier, and then liquid hydrogen as a propellants, making them at the temperatures at -180 to -200. We are compressing those things to reduce the area of the tank so that the weight also gets decreased and the rocket will travel for more distances. So here we are using the cryogenic engine. We are replacing the liquid and solid fuel engines with the cryogenic engine, right? So why we are using it? Because it can consume less fuel for longer distances and the efficiency is also much higher, right? So the efficiency here means the successness and then what you call the consumption of liquid or less fuel when compared to the other fuels, right? When compared to liquid and solid fuels, these rockets will consume less amount of fuel. So that's how the efficiency can be increased. Now what we are doing in the Gaganyaan, we are using the C-20 engine, as I said earlier, to lift the humans from Earth to the space. We are using the C-20 engine in the final stage. Okay, so that you need to remember. That's why we have discussed the cryogenic engine. Now what actually is Gaganyaan mission, that also we need to know, but no need to worry about learning too much. You just need to know the objective because the mission is yet to be launched. Once the mission is launched into the space, then it becomes more important to know the details of the project, because it is a proposal stage and it is still a preparatory stage. There is a chances of modification in the coming days. That's why we need to know the basics, and in the future when the mission gets launched into the space, then we will know the details of the project. So here the objective is 3-day mission, 3-day manned mission. Manned here means humans. So the humans will be kept in the module, the payload module, and Gaganyaan will go into the space with the help of the LVM rocket, and then humans will be kept in the lower Earth orbit. So Earth have orbit around it, isn't it? So you can say here like this. You can say like this, that Earth is here and then orbit is here. So here, say for example, I am the Earth and surrounding me there is a orbit, and it is a lower Earth orbit. Lower Earth orbit means it is up to 300 to 400 kilometers from the Earth surface. So we are going to launch the humans into the orbit at lower Earth orbit for 3 days. That is also important, right? And it will go approximately, yes, they have, as of now it was planned for 3 days, and there was a proposal yearly for 5 to 7 days, but now it was made to 3 days. That's why no need to go into the details until the project is launched. And why the ISRO is launching this? Humans in the space can observe much better way rather than keeping the machines like satellites, right? So if humans go there, they feel the exact environment. So ISRO want to prove itself that we are capable of putting humans into the space, right? So that is the objective of the Gaganyaan mission. So what we have learned here in this article, the context that it got the human rating, that is the engine is ready to launch or put the humans into the space. And then we have seen what is cryogenics, that is study of material at the low temperature, and then which materials are used or which gases are used, and then how cryogenic engine works. It compresses the liquid fuels kept at a very good efficiency with less area, and then it gives more thrust to the rocket, so it can push for more distances and with the more accuracy. That's what the cryogenic engines, and we have seen what is Gaganyaan mission as well, right? So I hope this is clear with the cryogenic engines. That's what the context says. The ISRO has achieved the successful of cryogenic engine 20. Next article, India Middle East Economic Corridor. This is, we can say, from international relations, and you will see the question for sure from this article, because it was with the support of India the project was launched. Now recently Greece Prime Minister has visited India as a chief guest for Raisina dialogue. We have seen what is Raisina dialogue just day before yesterday itself, right? To discuss about the international defense relations across the countries, right? So Greece Prime Minister is the chief guest for this year's Raisina dialogue, and he has said one thing, that even though Israel or the Middle East is not very stable because of Israel-Palestine war, Hamas and all, we have to go forward with the India Middle East Economic Corridor. Of course, Greece is also part of this project. That's why they are saying that we need to go ahead with the project, even if there are some obstacles to implement it, right? So that is the context why we have taken this article. Now, we need to know about the India Middle East Economic Corridor. That is the most important thing, yes, right? So not only the context, but we need to know the details as well. So if you see here in this diagram, usually the ships travel from Mediterranean Sea through Red Sea region, right? And here there are Hamas who are attacking the ships and also always busy in the Suez Canal. So it becomes very difficult for the ships to travel through Red Sea, and there is a lot of delay also. That's why the countries in this region, including India, with the support of some European countries as well as the Arabian Peninsula, Arabic countries, we have planned a project that we are not going to travel through Red Sea, rather we are going to travel from India, that is Mundra port, Gujarat. From here till UAE, some ports are there, we will travel through waterway, right? Usually from waterway it takes too much longer time through Red Sea. Now what we are combining roadways, railways and waterways as well. From here till we will go through waterways, and from UAE, Saudi Arabia, we will construct a roadways and railways, so it will be much faster. Once we reach out to the Israel where it opens to the Mediterranean Sea, then again we will travel through the waterways. So this is the project that we have launched, that we are going to integrate the Indian region along with the European to bypass the Red Sea region, right? So that's what the objective of the article. We need to know the facts as well, of course, not only about the working nature, but we also need to know the facts involved in it. So what is the objective? Very simple thing, to enhance the trade and grow the economy of the countries involved in this, right? So that is the objective. Here there are 3 continents, or you can say 2 continents, but regions, we have different regions. Asia and Europe. They are integrating 2 continents, that is Asia and Europe, with the support of Arabia and Gulf region, because this is the Arabian Peninsula. This is all Arabian Peninsula. We are integrating Asia with the Europe through Arabian Peninsula. Now, the thing is, we are going to encourage economy and then strengthening manufacturing, right? So raw materials should be quickly available to promote the infrastructure, manufacturing, right? So if we are able to connect this, so we will get more raw materials as soon as possible, and we can promote the manufacturing, food security, and there are many measures. But what are all the countries involved in it? India, of course, very important. I won't tell you US now. Let's see in the background. Saudi Arabia, UAE, European Union. So in European Union, we have many countries like Greece, and then Italy, France, Germany, right? So all all European nations, approximately all European regions, Saudi Arabia, UAE, India, and US comes here because where is US in a geography? It is part of North America. They are not part of Asia or Europe. Why they are coming? There are few reasons. It is one of the most developed country and superpower in the world. Also, US have a lot of bases here in Djibouti and in many regions of Mediterranean Sea. They have a bases there, naval bases or air bases. There is a lot of bases. So that's why US is also included in the project. Now, the whole project has 2 corridors. This is also important to know. One is the Eastern corridor, that is this region, India and Arabian Peninsula. This is called as Eastern region, and then this is called as the Northern corridor. So this is the Eastern corridor, India along with the Arabian Peninsula, and this is the Northern corridor. There are two corridors within the India Middle East corridor. We have a two corridors divisions, right? In the first corridor, we have India and Arabian Peninsula, as I said, and then next is connecting Gulf to the Europe. This is a fact that you need to know. Here, one more thing, as I already said, it includes waterways, railways, and roadways all together connecting it. Now, what are all the ports involved in this? That is also important. Sometimes they will ask, especially those ports which are from India. India is integrating three ports here, Mundra and Kandla port in Gujarat, right? Mundra as well as Kandla, both are located in the Gujarat, and then JNPT port in Navi Mumbai. These three are the ports which are being integrated into the India Middle East Economic Corridor. From Middle East, ports like Fuji, Jebel Ali, Abu Dhabi in UAE, and then some Ras Al Khair in the Saudi Arabia. You don't need to worry too much about these things, but yes, this is very important, which is part of India. Similarly, we are also creating railway lines in UAE, Israel, and Saudi Arabia. Right, so this also no need to worry. You just remember the countries that are involved. There are number of ports, number of railways. You no need to worry. Only thing is to remember the Indian ones. And then Israel, we are also having a Hafia port. This you can remember, because that is the end of this corridor. From there we will have a waterways, right? So the roadway end here in the Hafia port. This you can remember. In Europe, we have number of ports in Greece and Italy. So other ports you no need to worry, right? So this is about the India Middle East Economic Corridor. Any doubts in this? Yes. Next article will have a little bit detailed discussion on this, because this is an issue based rather than blindly mugging up the facts. This is an issue based article. Today in the Hindu, you might have already seen that certain states in India are protesting against the center, especially Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, southern states, we can say, right? Because they claim that we are not getting the sufficient money from the center. There is no financial support from the center to us, Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. They are already protesting against the center, right? So the Hindu has noted what is the present issue, why some states are against the center, that they are not giving certain funds to India, right? So opposition, especially opposition ruled states, that is not BJP but other states, right? So they are protesting that southern states are being penalized, or they are not giving the sufficient money to the state governments. Who is not giving? Center. All right. Now let's understand the background before going into the issues and then solutions for it. Let's understand the background of it. Under Article 270 of Indian Constitution, we have Indian Constitution, isn't it? Clearly mentioned what to be followed by the states and central government. And in this Constitution, there is an Article 270. It says that it mandates that whatever the funds central government is getting from taxes or any other sources has to be shared with the state governments. It should be shared between the center and states, whatever the funds or taxes received by the central government. So there is an obligation on union government that they have to share the funds with the state governments. It does not mean that union government is not sharing, they are sharing, but there is a differences that we will see in the coming slides. But just understand, Article 270 made obligation on the central government to share the funds with the states. Also, the taxes that are shared between the center and states are mainly corporation tax, income tax, right? So corporation tax means what? Corporate tax or corporation tax means the taxes paid by the companies, private companies. Similarly, income tax, the individuals who we are paying the income tax to the government, and then GST as well. So these type of taxes has to be shared with the state governments by the center. So there is one more article, that is Article 280 under the Indian Constitution. You need to remember them. This Article 270, what it says and what type of taxes shared, they will ask in the exam. So under Article 280, not only the not only the taxes, but how it should be shared is already been mentioned here. There is a Finance Commission under Article 280. How to share the taxes, not only mentioning to share, but how to share them will be decided or recommended by the Finance Commission. Not decided actually, recommended. Finally, government will take the decision. So Finance Commission under Article 280 has to recommend the central government how we can share the funds with the states, right? Apart from sharing the taxes, there is also certain things that any grants, that means not only taxes distribution, but if there is necessary for extra funds. For example, Tamil Nadu often face floods in the, especially the Chennai region, or even in the northeast, we have a floods in Assam because of Brahmaputra river. So in such conditions, Finance Commission says that certain states are not in a good position because of various disasters and various conditions. So it says, it asks central government to share extra funds with these states. So this is also important to understand. So this also one more important point to be observed here. In this divisible pool, so divisible pools means whatever the funds central government has to share with the state governments. Here there are two important concepts, that is cess and surcharge. Cess is a amount or tax, extra tax levied by the central government for specific purposes. For example, there is an education cess. That means whatever the extra tax that government is going to collect will be spent exclusively on education only. They cannot spend on any other sector. So cess is extra tax collected for specific purpose, and government has to use the fund only on for that purpose. Similarly, there is one more thing, surcharge, tax on tax. This is also extra tax levied by the central government, but not for any specific purpose. They can use for any for any purposes, right? So there are two such concepts, cess and surcharge, and this extra money that central government is collecting is no need to share with the states. This is the this is the thing that is mentioned in the acts, different acts of the Indian polity, right? So the cess and surcharge is no need to share by the central government with the state government. So only thing is what the tax that they are collecting, and Finance Commission, if they are saying any extra thing, they can share. These two things no need to share by the central government with the states. So now, understanding the background, we have understood the background. What is the conditions mentioned in the constitution? What is the obligation on the union government, and why? What are the things need not to be shared with the states? So we have seen the background. By keeping this in the background, now let's understand what is the basis for the funds to be shared. We have seen that Finance Commission has to suggest measures to share the funds by the central government with the state governments. But on what basis they are giving money to the states? They are not giving equal funds to all the states, all 28 states or 29 states that we have. They are not giving equal funds. But on what basis we are distributing, or we here means central government, are sharing the funds with the state governments? There are certain conditions given by the Finance Commission. This has already been asked in the exam. You need to know this. In this year, like 15th Finance Commission of 2021 to 26, there are certain conditions where the funds has to be shared. First one is the income distance. 45% weightage is given for income distance. For example, UP is earning some 10,000 income and Kerala is earning some 20,000 income. So funds should be given more to the Uttar Pradesh. That's what the Finance Commission says. The main condition here is highest weightage is income distance. What is the income, the total income of the state? What is the differences? Whatever the states that are lagging behind in terms of earning the income, you need to give more to them, right? That's what the first condition Finance Commission says. And then second one is population. They have excluded the 1971 census. They are included 2011 census in this year, this financial year, or you can say 15th Finance Commission year of 5 years. They are given importance to population under census 2011. So who will get more funds? Whoever is having highest population. So Uttar Pradesh is having highest population, approximately 20 crore, and then more funds are going to the Uttar Pradesh. Then what about the states like Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, which has stabilized their population? They have played the role, they have planned everything, and they have controlled the population, which is a good thing. But you are giving more funds to the states which are having more population. So how is it justified? That's what the states ask. That is the second condition. And then area of the state. So whatever the state which is bigger will get more funds. Like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, they are in bigger size, they are gaining that. Then forest and ecology, which is having highest forests and ecology, right? So that is the the next criteria, and then demographic performance. This is a good thing, that some states which are performed the well, like Kerala and then Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, they have performed well in demographic performance. They have achieved the population stability. For that, they have given only 12.5%. Rest are all not supported to the southern states because their land area is less, forest area is less, and then the population is also less. Similarly, tax efforts were given very less, 2.5. After observing all these things, do you think that all states are getting equal weightage of money? You can take one example, that Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, they are giving more money to the center, more taxes are being collected. But in the end, these states are not getting good amount of money because the indices, the measurements are based on some other parameters. Whoever has collected more tax, whoever has generated the more income, they are not being given. But the distance between income and then forest cover, some other population, though they have given the criteria. So the issue has become that southern states, based on these parameters, are getting lesser amount from the central government. So that is the issue. And also 41% of total central government funds, what they are getting from taxes and all, has to be shared with the state governments. That's what the Finance Commission says. But that was not happened. It was happened only 31 something, 32%. Right? So now what are all the issues, what are all the bases we have seen? We have seen all these things. Now, what are the issues here? We have discussed on what basis they are sharing, but can anyone say what is the issue for southern states? This is very important to understand. Sir, why the time is changed? Actually 5 p.m. Convenient to me. Because of my other classes, so there is a collision. In coming days we will shift it to 5 p.m. only, but for next few days it will be for 6 p.m. Okay? Yes. So Kerala is having forest cover of 30%. You are right. Some states has good forest cover, but population is less and the funds will again be lagged. So here there are some issues noted by the Hindu related to the distribution of funds. First one is, as we have seen already, cess and surcharge, which central government is collecting, is not being given to the states. They are only sharing the tax revenues, but not the cess and surcharge. But out of total income that central government is getting, 23% are estimated is nothing but cess and surcharge. Out of 100 rupees you are collecting, 23 rupees is nothing but cess and surcharge, and you are not sharing this with the state governments, isn't it? 23% is completely omitted and went for the central government itself. This is one issue. You need to remember the issue. Next issue is this: the total tax revenue generated by the government is approximately 38 lakh crores. The central government is collecting 38 lakh crores in total in that particular year, and out of that only 12 lakh crores. So what is the actual amount to be given? Finance Commission has said that you give 41%. So 41% should be given. That means 38 lakh crores you are getting every year. So out of 41%, what it makes? You can say around, 18 lakh crores, 17 lakh crores, right? So it is more than that, approximately 17, 16 lakh crores, but they are getting only 12 lakh crores. 4 lakh crores is not a small number, it is a bigger number. So they are getting only 32% share rather than getting 41% share. That is the second issue. Along with the excluding of cess and surcharge, the funds are more in cess and surcharge to the government. Second issue is they are not able to give what Finance Commission has said. That is the second issue, right? One more thing that the government has said, there is a steep variation between the states. See, Kerala is giving, say for example, some 1 lakh crores, and Bihar is giving very less amount. So see here. But even though southern states are giving more money, you can say these are all states which are giving more money. Generally, I have not noted here. Anyway, they are giving more money, but for 1 rupee that they are getting only 15 paisa. For example, observe here. Try to understand. Very, very important. Andhra Pradesh is giving, for example, 1 rupee, and they are getting half rupee for it. We are paying taxes of 1 rupee and you are giving only 50 paisa. 50 paisa you have consumed. Similarly, Kerala you can take they are getting 0.57 paisa only, and Telangana they are getting 0.43 paisa out of 1 rupee. So they are giving more money, that is 1 rupee, but they are getting only 43 paisa. Now observe here in Bihar. Bihar is giving 1 rupee for the central government in terms of taxes. 1 rupee, I'm just taking an example. And they are getting 7 rupees. You are giving 1 rupee and you are taking 7 rupees from the center. That means what? They have taken funds of other states. Similarly, same with the Uttar Pradesh. They are getting 2.73. Then Assam, Madhya Pradesh. These are all states, even though they are giving 1 rupee, but they are giving the double times. That is one more issue noted by the Hindu. So that is the issues. That also there is one more issue, that the states, some states are getting dip. See here, Kerala, their amount is reducing year on year, right? So this is also the issue. Now what is the solution for it? What is the solution for it? This is also important. We know the issues now. Cess is excluded, and then funds that governments are giving has lesser than what they are giving. We have know the issue. Now the Hindu also noted some solutions for it to take measures. First measure is divisible pool can include some part of cess and surcharge. Now cess and surcharge is excluded from the divisible pool. Central government no need to give cess and surcharge to the states. So it is saying some part, say 50%, can be given to the states. That is one solution, so that they will get more funds. Next solution is gradually discontinue the cess and surcharge. You remove it completely. In the next coming years, you rationalize tax and completely remove it, so that the 23% that they are collecting will be added into the divisible pool, so all the states will also be benefited. That is the second solution. Third solution is GST contribution. So whoever is giving more taxes, GST, from whichever state you are getting more, give them more preference rather than population, forest cover and all. You give importance to the GST collection that each state has contributed, right? So that is also a good solution, so that the states which are getting more taxes will benefit from the pool. And then similar to GST Council, we have GST Council now, which is headed by Finance Minister to take decisions and all. Similarly, you provide a council in the Finance Commission, so that all the state governments will come and give suggestions. Now Finance Commission will take its own decisions, but now you try to bring states, before deciding the options, you try to please discuss with the states and then take the measures. So these are the solutions provided by the Hindu for this, right? So that is about a very good article. I mean, we can say there's a lot of differences among the states. We have discussed what is the issue, right? So why the the southern states are protesting, and then we have seen the background about providing funds to the states. What are all the provisions in the constitution, and then on what basis Finance Commission is recommending funds to the state governments. We have seen the provisions. The most important thing is income distance, and why the state governments are protesting. Some state governments, especially southern state, there are some issues. We have discussed the issues also, and then we have finally discussed the solutions. So that is about the fiscal issues with the states. Very good article, I would say. If you not understood, please go back and understand it. Now from now onwards, this is a factual in nature, not too much efforts are required. Sammakka Sarlaka Medaram Jatara. Recently, Prime Minister has extended the greetings for the Jatara, which is going to start in the next coming few days, right? I think today only it has started. So Prime Minister has extended the greetings. Now let's understand what is Sammakka Sarlaka festival. Before that, let's understand the history, from where this festival has come. In 30th century, there was a woman, tribal woman from Koya community, named as Sammakka. She has fought against the feudal chiefs. Feudal chiefs means who's having a bigger agriculture land, and then they are giving certain small amount of land and exploiting lot of taxes from the people. This is a very general, or you can see the throughout Indian subcontinent in the history, that poor people have very less land. They will ask them to work in the lands, and they collect 50%, 60% of taxes. You are doing all the work, and why you are taking all money again, right, from us? So there was a woman, Sammakka Saraka, against a Kakatiya feudal chief. There was a feudal king in the Kakatiya dynasty, which has ruled in the present Telangana region and some part of Andhra Pradesh region. So she fought against it. She was already having 2 daughters and 1 son. the Sarlaka, right? She was the daughter of Sammaka. She was the daughter. The Saraka was the daughter of Sammaka. Try to remember, right? So these two women were fighting against along with the other people, and the feudal king has killed the Saraka, the daughter of Sammaka. Now Sammaka has went into the forests. She escaped into the forests of the region in the Eastern Ghats. So there people believe that this woman have escaped from the king, or like escaping the death, and then she has metamorphed into a god. Okay, they have disappeared, and then the Sammaka has disappeared and went to the forest, and people believe that the people there in the region believe that she has become the god. Okay, she has metamorphed into the god. That's why every year we are celebrating this festival, right? That is the history. Now, what are the features of the festival? That is also very, very important. First thing is, it is a 4-day Jatara. 4-day festival happens in Medaram, a region in Mulugu district of Telangana. These are all facts very important. I have made you know the history, why we are celebrating it. Now it is your duty to remember the facts. Here, Medaram Jatara is a 4-day festival which happens in the Mulugu district of Telangana in a Medaram region. It is a biennial, that means once in a 2 years. This is also important to remember. It is a biennial festival, that is happens once in a 2 years. And this is the only tribal fair devoted to for any tribal warrior. There are many tribal festivals, but this is the festival specific to tribal warrior, that is Sammaka, right? So this is the only festival. This is being celebrated by Koya tribal, as Sammaka is from Koya tribe. So this people are celebrating the festival to mark the role of Sammaka during the history. So it is also termed as Kumbh Mela of tribals. Usually where Kumbh Mela happens, it happens in the 4 rivers, Godavari, in Nasik, and then Varanasi, right? So we have 4 places Kumbh Mela which is already happening. So this is called as Kumbh Mela of tribals, the Sammaka festival, right? It also happens near A2 Rangarao Wildlife Sanctuary, where the tribals of Koyas reside. These are all facts very, very important for our exam. A2 Rangaram Wildlife Sanctuary is already there, and the festival is celebrated here, right? So that is about the Sammaka Sarlaka festival. One more important thing is Sammaka Central Tribal University. So after bifurcation of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, you all know in 2013 and 14 there was a bifurcation between Andhra and Telangana, and central government has promised in Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act that we will establish a tribal university in Telangana. So that is being established here in Mulugu district, where the Sammaka Sarlaka region was there with the 889 crores, the total amount. They are establishing a tribal university to promote tribal education and the culture of tribal regions there, right? This is also a small point to be remembered. Any doubts in this? Yes, you are right. Both of you are correct. Bhargav and Narsimha, yes, for every 2 years. It is a Telangana festival. Very important. You will see the questions related to it. Next article, flood management and border area program. So a little bit, you should have a patience, because we have very good articles today. We have around 10 articles. So I'm going to discuss. I'll take a little bit more time. But yes, they are very, very relevant for our exams. So Cabinet approves flood management and border area program. These are all articles from now onwards I have taken from PIB. So very important. So they have approved flood management and border area program. Okay. So that's why we have taken this article, and this is for financial year of 2021 to 26. Sir, we are in 2024. Why you are saying 2021-26? Because this is an old scheme. Already there was some funds. They have enhanced the funds for this, right? So it is being implemented since 2021-26 in the 15th Finance Commission span. So what is the objective? Read this again. Flood management and border area program. So here they are going to support border areas and flood management in those regions. So name itself has the objective. So they are going to contain the floods in the northeast region, the border area regions, right? So we have 13 or 12 or 13 countries bordering with the international border, starting from Gujarat in the west, right? Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, then Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Bihar, yes, Bihar do have a border with the Nepal, and then West Bengal and some northeastern states including the Assam, Mizoram and all. So we have certain states, so in that specific border area states, the government is going to control the flood management. It is a centrally sponsored scheme. Centrally sponsored means 60% funds will be given by the center and the rest 40% has to be by states, right? Try to remember. Central sector means 100% funded by the central government, but this is a centrally sponsored, so those states also need to give, okay? The total project cost of this was given as 4,100 crores for the total project, right? For the year 2021-22 to 26. This is the total funds. But this does not stop here. We have two sub-components in the scheme. Flood management is one component and then border areas program is second component. There are two components. One is flood management program. Within this 4,100 crores, they are giving 2,940 crores for this flood management. So they are going to control all the flood related thing specifically under this sub-component. And second one is river management and border areas. So not only about the floods but river management. There are some rivers which are sharing border with the international like Brahmaputra, right? So for this they have allocated 1,160 crores out of this 4,100 they have already given, and remaining money will be for river management and border area development. So this you need to remember, right? So that's all for this particular article. Next article, FDI in space sector. What is FDI? It is nothing but a foreign investment in India. That means the people who are spending money, investing money are not Indians, but they have come from other countries. So those investments are important for economy to grow, isn't it? Because India does not have sufficient funds because of overpopulation or historical reasons. We are taking funds from others, right? So that is called as an FDI. And we will specifically talk about the specific space sector because there was a change in the government side related to the space sector FDI, right? So FDIs are important. We have seen what is FDI. Now understanding the background, before seeing what government has changed, we will see the background. In 2023, that is last year, India's space policy was launched. Which year? 2023. That will also be asked in the exam. So India's space policy was launched in 2023, and what is the objective of the policy? That they want to involve the private players. Take example of USA. There is a SpaceX of Elon Musk. They are playing significant role in the US space sector. Government always have constrained funds, right? So that's why the private participation becomes important. The private players, how Elon Musk is playing a significant role in USA. Government is also trying to enhance the private player role in the space sector, right? So because whatever the government has already done to collaborate and then enhance the quality of space projects in the coming years, right? So that is the objective. Now what reforms government has announced? They have announced 100% FDI is allowed in space sector. Earlier only it was limited because our critical information related to the space may be passed to the other countries by the foreigners because they are not Indians. That's why we were not allowing it. But now government has felt that this is the time where we have to open up the space sector as well to the private players. So 100% funding, that means foreigners can come and invest in India, develop the rocket systems, space systems, and then you take the profits. We are not going to restrict. But anyway, there is some more provisions which we need to remember. Within space, we have a number of subcomponents, isn't it? We have satellite, we have rockets, we have fuels. There are many things. So there are two types of FDIs. Try to understand this. There are two types of FDIs. One is automatic route. They have already asked these things in the exam. Automatic route. Other one is the permitted route or permitted route. Here in automatic route, FDI need not to take any permission from the government. They can come into India, they can launch, just that their company has to be registered. No need of taking permission before investing. So that is called as automatic route. No need to take any permission from the government or RBI, any other organization. Just that you will register it, that's all. The permitted route is that government or the private company has to take permission before investing in Indian economy. So there are two types. One is automatic, that is no need to take any permission, and permitted route is to take permission from the government and concerned bodies, right? So then what is the issue here? The subcomponents we will see here. First one, up to 74%. They have said that 100% we have opened FDI, but it can be permitted route or it can be automatic route. If it is not 100%, that means what? Even if it is permitted or automatic, you can just only give 40% funds of the total project. Rest of 60% has to be Indian. But here 100% funds can be invested by the government, private foreign players, but 74% for satellite manufacturing operation, satellite data projects will be automatic. That means if the cost is 100 crores, the 74 crores can be invested directly, no need of any permission. But if you are crossing 74%, 75 or 76, if you are increasing your funding, you need to take permission from the government, right? So up to 74% automatic route for these provisions can be invested, but beyond 74% you need to take the permission from government. Similarly, only 49% for certain important things like vehicles and associated systems, spacecrafts. These are all important things. So only 49% is automatically allowed. Rest of 51% will be has to take permission from the government. And 100% automatic route. For this there is no need of any permission. This include very less important manufacturing components, the external components, ground segments. So here there is no intellectual thing, something like that. They are physical goods for the rocket satellites. This, okay, you invest 100%, no need of permission, right? So that is about the FDI in the space. So if they are asking you about the exam in the space, now it is 100% permitted. They won't ask you the subcomponents, too much factual in nature. But yes, there is a 100% automatic route in certain conditions. I have just given you the policy, what government has announced. But 100% funding is allowed, and you need to remember when is India space policy launched, what is the objective, and in that perspective only government is allowing 100% FDI. Next one, fair and remunerative price. Again, this is important. You all know that we have a MSP policy. Minimum support price, we have discussed in number of articles, that for 22 crops. In that there is no sugar cane, right? So for that government will take the agriculture produce from the farmer directly, and they will give the money whenever there is not a remunerative price for the farmers. But there is a slight difference in the fair and remunerative price. It is specifically for sugar cane, not for other crops. Okay? In MSP, government is directly buying agriculture produce from farmers, okay? But in this policy, government is not, okay, before going into that point, let's understand the context, why we have seen this, then I will explain you the fair and remunerative price. Recently, government has suggested 340 for quintal, right? So quintal means 100 kgs, right? So 340 rupees per quintal, okay, for season 2024-25 for the recovery rate of 10.25%. I will tell you, don't worry, what is recovery rate. So government has announced that for sugar cane 340 per quintal will be given, and the recovery rate of sugar will be 10.25%. Now come to the recovery rate. Now we have a sugar canes, right? So there are sugar canes, you can see here, and the farmers has taken this. In this, from this sugar cane, for example, 100 kg sugar cane has given. Sugar cane, the total sugar cane, raw sugar cane. Out of that, 10.25 kg has to get the sugar, because not all the sugar cane will produce sugar, the sugar that we consume. So at least 10.25% has to be given in terms of sugar. Then only you will be paid 340 per quintal. Okay, so this the condition, the data is very, very important. The sugar that we have to extract it from sugarcane should be 10.25, then only will given by 340 quintal. Now let's understand what actually is fair and remunerative price. We will come to this point, don't worry, just remember this, we will come to this again. I explained you the price, but unlike in MSP, where government is directly procuring from farmers, they are giving money and then they are taking all the goods by the government itself. But here, In fair and remunerative price, the mill owners, whoever is having sugar mills, they are going to buy the sugar cane from the farmers, not government. This is very, very important point to be understood, right? In MSP, government is directly giving money, but here sugar mill owners, whoever is having sugar mills, they are taking the sugar cane from the farmers and they are giving the 340 per quintal. Okay, if the sugar, retracting sugar is around 10.25%, right? So that is FRP, fair and remunerative price, and this is mandated under Sugarcane Order 1966. There is already an executive order by the government. So under this law or rule, they have to follow this. All the mill owners, they cannot give less amount because they are protecting the sugarcane farmers. The government is protecting the sugarcane farmers, right? So that is the thing. And then it should be uniformity applicable across the states. This is also important point. This fair and remunerative price is applicable same in Kerala as well as Jammu Kashmir. There is no difference. That is important point to remember. And this FRP is decided by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, whoever is deciding MSP, minimum support price for other crops. The same body is fixing it, Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, after suggested by the Commission on Agriculture Costs and Prices. Same commission is suggesting MSP and then same is suggesting for FRP as well, and the final decision is Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Now, what are the new announcements by the government? This is very important facts to be remembered. They are saying that if the sugar recovery from the sugar cane is 10.25%, you have to give the 340 per quintal. This is what we were discussing. Similarly, if there is a good quality of sugar, so minimum is 10.25%, but if they are increasing it, the quality of sugar cane is very good and there is more amount. For every increase of 0.15%, that means 10.35%. That means what? They are collecting more sugar. There should be an increase of 3.32 rupees. For every 0.1% increase in the sugar retraction, the mill owners has to pay 3.32 rupees extra to the farmer for every 0.1%. But if the quality is removed less than 10.25% is not, they are not able to retract the sugar, then if it is up to 9.5%, usually we should have 10.25, but if it is 9.5%, then they can pay 315 per quintal. Earlier it was 340, but if it is reducing the amount of sugar retraction, then it is only 315 per quintal. But government has also given one more condition. Below this, if it is 8% sugar retraction, 7%, then also you have to pay this only. Beyond or less than this, nobody should pay. It should be this or more than that. That's all, right? So this is the conditions, the present condition, what government has released. So very, very important data we have seen. Now, financial stability. Now we have 2-3 articles which are very factual in nature. It does not take too much time now. Recently, 28th meeting of Financial Stability and Development Board has happened in New Delhi, right? So 28th meeting of Financial Stability and Development Council. For our exam, what is important now? You need to know about Financial Stability and Development Council. What is it? Who are all the members? What is the objective of this? That is relevant for our exam. The meeting is not important, but what actually the body is important for us. 28th time they have met yesterday. Now let's see about FSDC, Financial Stability and Development Council. It was constituted in 2010 as an apex body, that means the highest body, to take care of economic stability in the country. Yes, there is already a RBI, we have Ministry of Finance, but specifically this body was launched to take care, assess the stability in the economy, or inflation is high, or growth is good or bad, is COVID is affecting our economy. So everything will be discussed by this body and then take measures accordingly. Few more things, it is not a statutory body, that means no act has mentioned this body, it is just an executive body. There is no funds allocated for this separately to work, salaries and all. There is no such thing because already those members who are part of this council are paid by the government itself. We will see who are all the members also. So aims is to strengthen the economy, to assess the economy and promote the financial stability in the economy. That is the very basic objective. And the members we need to know. It is headed by Finance Minister. This will be asked in the exam. The council is headed by Finance Minister. You can see here Finance Minister, right? It is headed by Finance Minister, and the members include RBI Governor, Finance Secretary, SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India, IRDAI, India Insurance Regulatory Board of India. So we have different important bodies related to the economics. All the members will come and sit here, discuss the economic condition, right? So they can also invite experts if they feel that they need some expert advice. They can also invite those things and sit in the discussion. Also, there is a subcommittee in FSDC. Already there is a Financial Security Development Council, Financial Stability and Development Council, but within that there is a subcommittee. This FSDC is headed by Finance Minister, but subcommittee is headed by RBI Governor. Very, very important. So whenever the Finance Minister is not available, or if there is any urgency, this RBI Governor will take care under the subcommittee, right? So that is about the FSDC, who are all the members, what is the working nature and all. Now, I hope you are following, as I cannot see any comments, so I hope you are following it. Now, let's move ahead to the last two articles. Global Initiative on Digital Health. Very, very important, because India's role is there. Like how we have International Solar Alliance, which India has contributed at the international level. This Global Initiative on Digital Health is also a contribution of India. That's why it is very, very important. Now, it was launched yesterday only. It was officially launched yesterday, but of course it was announced before, but officially launched yesterday, and our Union Health Minister has given a public speech there, right? So in the World Health Organization Global Initiative on Digital Health. So that's why we have taken this article from Press Information Bureau. Now let's understand the origin and working of Global Initiative on Digital Health. It is kept under WHO, World Health Organization, because it is related to the health. It is being kept under WHO. They will ask you this, which was launched in last year G20. Last year India was the chair of G20, isn't it? You might have been aware about it. Group of 20 countries. So India was the chair last year, and it was announced last year. In the meeting happened in Gujarat, Gandhinagar. Last year, August 2023, it was launched under the India's G20 president. India itself has suggested it. Now, what is the aim of it? They have launched it, India have suggested it, but what actually the aim of this body? They want to consolidate all the attempts that has been gained in the health sector. So you might be aware, during COVID times, we invested a lot in the health. We have introduced new machines, new type of technology, new type of vaccines. So we have gained certain things. Even though we lost a lot of things from COVID, we have also gained certain elements from COVID, such as vaccines, new investments, something like that. So to continue that, to share the knowledge, to continue the benefits, there should be one body, that is Global Initiative on Digital Health, which will be kept under World Health Organization, and this organization will keep supporting the countries whatever needed related to the health. That is the objective, right? The last one for today, that is Mundra Port. Already we have discussed Mundra Port somewhere, isn't it, in this class itself, in the India Middle East Economic Corridor, connecting Mundra Kandla Port to the, along with the JNPT port to the Middle East countries. We have already discussed, but this is a separate context. The Minister of Transport of Israel, Miri Regev, recently went to the Mundra port and took the selfie and posted it in the social media that we are going to connect this with the Middle East. This port will be very useful. So that's why it is there in news. Now we need to know about the port. That's what relevant for our exam. For our exam, who has posted this? That is not relevant, because she is minister. Of course it becomes important, but for us Mundra port in Gujarat is very important for our exam. So what is the new route? She said that we are going to connect Mundra port with the Israel, and we can enhance the trade by passing the Red Sea. So they said that the new route is connecting Mundra port with UAE, same thing like India Middle East Economic Corridor only, but specifically of this port they have talked, that's why we are seeing it. They are going to connect the Mundra port to the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and finally to the Israel. That's what she said, right? So a major part of land transport will be carried out to the trucks, as we don't have completely sea or ocean water across India to Israel. We are going to connect waterway along with the land route. That's what she said. Now we need to know about the Mundra port. That is important. Let's observe here in this diagram. The Mundra port is located in the Gulf of Kutch region. Don't confuse with the Gulf of Kambat, which is just below this Kambat region. It is located in Gulf of Kutch, very, very important, just left side of Kandla port. Kandla port is also located in the Gulf of Kutch, and Mundra port is also located, but Mundra port is just an entry port, like you can see just by entering itself. And if you want to go to this port, you need to cross this region, right? So this is Mundra port and this is Kandla port, which are located in the Gujarat region. That is important. And this is the largest private port. This is not a government port. Remember, unlike Visakhapatnam or Mumbai port, this is the private port and this is the largest private port in India, located in Gulf of Kutch. And it is a deep draft. Draft means a depth. Whenever there is a good depth for the ships, they can travel easily. If there is a less depth, they cannot travel easily. I mean, the heavy ships cannot travel. So it is a good weather and a good draft and all weather. All weather here means it can work throughout the seasons. Take example of European ports or American ports, North American ports. Whenever there is a winter season, all the ice will accumulate there and the ports will be closed in those seasons. But here this port will be working throughout the year, all weather port, right? So it is also located in the special economic zone, which is created specifically for investing business. And as much as 33% of India's container traffic. Container means the goods transported in the containers, right? Which are transported in containers. This is almost 33% of total India's container traffic flows through this port, comes through this port, very important. And as we have already said that this is the largest port, and who is handling it? Adanis are handling it, right? So private players, these Adanis are private corporates. And it is the country's largest coal import terminal. So wherever the coal is coming in different ports, this is the largest port which is receiving the highest amount of coal. I hope this is very clear. We have discussed very exhaustively. Now there are some factual pointers. Okay, so there are some factual pointers for our exam. We have seen Raisina dialogue. We have discussed day before yesterday only. You can go back to the video, which is we have created a separate playlist in the ACE Engineering Academy channel. You can just go to click on playlist and then there is a daily current affairs playlist. You can just go through it. We have all the videos which we have conducted since last 1.5 months. You can go back to day before yesterday session. We have discussed what is Raisina dialogue and all. Now, there the theme was not discussed. I told you on that day that once the start of Raisina dialogue, we will announce the theme because government is yet to announce. Yesterday they have announced the 2024 theme. Chaturanga, conflict, contest, cooperate and create. This is the theme. I am not discussing Raisina dialogue because day before yesterday I have discussed. You please go and see it. And this is the theme. That is the only thing you need to remember from last day's session. Maharashtra government extended 10% reservations to Marathas. So this is also an important fact. You can ask which communities has got reservation. When you are writing the lower level of exam, they may ask. Next one, Arunachal Pradesh achieved the full Har Ghar Jal saturation, first in Northeast. So Har Ghar Pani or Har Ghar Jal scheme is there already launched by Indian government, where every house will get the piped drinking water, which is safer in nature rather than from pump or groundwater. Every house will receive the piped water. That's what the government scheme launched, Har Ghar Jal. So the Arunachal Pradesh now all the households, 100% households are receiving this. This is the first state in Northeast, but in India there are many regions, Kerala and all. Around 9 states has already completed and this is the first state in Northeast. Next, February 21, that is yesterday, is celebrated as International Mother Tongue or Mother Language Day, February 21. And the theme is multilingual education, a pillar for learning and international learning. Pillar of learning and intergenerational learning. So from one generation to other generation correction. This is the theme and this is the date where we are celebrating. Amin Sayani, so yesterday Prime Minister has tweeted that he has passed away, unfortunately. He is a radio voicist. He has passed away, Amin Sayani. If you are writing a lower level of exam, they may ask who is he. Next, Senior Supreme Court Judge Fali S. Nariman also passed away, unfortunately. So this was also announced by the Prime Minister in a tweet. So you can remember he is a former judge of Supreme Court. Next, Malta, a country, becomes 119th country to join International Solar Initiative. We have already launched International Solar Alliance to promote solar energy across the world. So Malta has become the 119th country to become part of it. So totally as of now we have 119 countries as part of the International Solar Alliance. So that is today's session. Let's see the questions, the last part of our session. We will quickly go through it, right? So first question about Sammaka Sarlaka Jatra, right? Consider which of the statements are correct related to Sammaka Saraka Jatra. First one, Sammaka Saraka Jatra is held by forest dwelling Boya community. So that is the first statement. We have seen a very good discussion on it. The event is held biannually to honor the twin goddess Sammaka and her daughter, right? Yes. So this is the second statement, biannually. The Sammaka Saraka Jatra is the state festival of Andhra Pradesh. Which statement? I think all the statements are wrong. This you can take it as a biennial rather than biannual, right? So this is the statements. One is a D, someone is saying it is not the state festival of Andhra Pradesh. Yes, first statement is wrong actually. They are not Boya community but Koya tribe. Koya tribe, not Boya community. First statement is wrong. Second one, biennial, we have changed this. Yes, it has biennial festival. 2 is correct. It is not a state festival of Andhra Pradesh, rather it is a Telangana. Okay, so answer is C, 2 only. Next question, fair and remunerative price often mentioned in news with reference to which of the following crops? Very direct question. I am expecting answer for this at least, right? Fair and remunerative price is given for which crops? Sugarcane, cotton, jute, coffee. Anyone? Two is A. Yes, very good. This is a very direct answer, that is sugarcane. Next, consider the following statements regarding Mundra port. We have seen just now the Mundra port, about discussion about the Mundra port. Let's see this. It is the largest private port in India located in Gujarat. More than quarter of India's container traffic flows through the port. Two statements. Very direct, we have discussed this, both of the statements. Right? First, yes, it is the largest private port and is located in Gujarat, right? Gulf of Kutch. That is the first statement. Yes, it is correct. More than quarter of India's container traffic flows through it. 33% we have said. We have discussed this. 33% approximately is going through it. So more than quarter only, right? So answer is C. Yes, Bhargav and then Narasimha. Yes, you are correct. Both of you are correct. Answer is C. Next, which of the following statements are correct regarding financial stability and development council? We have discussed this, right? Financial stability and development council. Yesterday there was a meeting. It is headed by RBI governor. First statement. It is a body of Niti Aayog which includes prime minister, chief ministers and heads of union territories. That is the second statement. Third, it monitors macro-prudential supervision of economy. That is the third statement. So anyone? Can anyone answer this? First statement, RBI governor is wrong. Ministry of Finance. That is the first statement. So first is eliminated and you got already the answer. Second statement is insignificant, but still we will see it is not Niti Aayog but it is under the Ministry of Finance. It is chaired by the Ministry of Finance. So statement is wrong. It monitors the economy supervision, very generic. So answer is 3 only. Yes, Bhargav, you are correct. Answer is 3. Next, consider the following statements with reference to cryogenic engine. Last question, cryogenic engine. It uses propellants at extremely low temperatures. First statements. Propellants here means fuels only. It uses propellants fuels at the lower temperature. C20 is the first Indian cryogenic engine to feature a gas generator cycle. Right? So this is a little bit tricky, you may have a doubt. And then cryogenic engines uses liquid nitrogen and carbon as a fuel. Right? But this statement will give you the elimination techniques clue. Cryogenic engines uses liquid nitrogen and carbon as a fuel. So let's see. First one, yes, correct. It uses propellants at extremely low temperatures, minus 180, minus 200. So first statement should be there. So B is eliminated. Second statement may be doubt. CE20 is the first Indian cryogenic engine. There may be doubt. Let's go to the third statement. A cryogenic engine uses liquid nitrogen and carbon as a fuel. There is no carbon, rather oxygen and hydrogen. Liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen compressing it. So these are wrong. And third statement should be not there. So we got the answer 1 and 2. So this is correct, that CE20 cryogenic engine 20 is the first one which is also used as a gas generator cycle, right? So we have had a very good discussion on all the things today. I hope the session was useful for you all. Yes, answer is A only, correct. Keep supporting, keep following. We are conducting it by collecting all the articles from Press Information Bureau, Hindu, Indian Express, which will be really helpful. We are discussing issue as well as facts associated with it. Keep subscribing and keep following us. Thank you. Have a great day.